When two boys from different worlds, one bound by duty, one guided by passion, discover each other, they learn that the heart has its own kind of truth. The library was Noah's second home, a cathedral of quiet anxiety, heavy with the scent of old paper and desperation. It was midterm season, and every carrel was occupied by students hunched over textbooks, their faces lit by the cold blue glow of laptop screens. Noah sat buried beneath a mountain of biology notes, the familiar knot of panic tightening in his stomach. Organic chemistry felt like a foreign language he'd never quite mastered, no matter how many hours he spent trying to decode it. His thoughts blurred, his brain threatening to short-circuit. He needed a break. Gathering his empty water bottle, and what was left of his sanity, he trudged toward the vending machines in the basement lounge. It was quieter there, a forgotten corner of the library with worn-out sofas and a single flickering fluorescent light. That's when he saw him. A guy with sun-kissed, messy brown hair sat cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by a constellation of art postcards and open books. Unlike everyone else, he wasn't frantically scribbling notes. He was sketching, slowly, deliberately, his brow furrowed in concentration. It was Adam. Noah recognized him from his Art History 101 lecture, the one who asked thoughtful questions, who seemed genuinely excited about Baroque frescoes, while everyone else was just counting down the minutes. Noah filled his bottle and was about to slip away unnoticed when Adam looked up. His eyes, warm, hazel, and alive, crinkled at the corners as he smiled. Drowning in textbooks, too? Noah blinked, caught off guard. Yeah, biology. It's a lot. Tell me about it, Adam said, gesturing to his own chaotic spread. I've got a 5,000-word essay on neoclassical influences due tomorrow, but my brain decided now is the perfect time to focus on shading techniques. Priorities, right? He laughed, a soft, effortless sound that cut through the tense air like sunlight breaking into shadow. Noah smiled despite himself. At least shading's a useful skill. Debatable, Adam chuckled. He pointed to the empty spot beside him. There's room on the island of misfit students if you want. It's less depressing than sitting alone. Noah hesitated. He had a schedule. He was supposed to be memorizing the Krebs cycle right now. But the thought of returning to that lonely carol suddenly felt unbearable. Sure. Thanks. He sat down beside him, carefully setting his binder next to a book open to a painting of a stormy sea. I'm Adam. By the way, Noah. Nice to officially meet you. Noah, I've seen you in Professor Evans' class. You always look like you're solving a complex math problem during her lectures. Adam's tone was teasing, but kind. That's because I am, Noah admitted, rubbing the back of his neck. I'm constantly calculating my GPA after every pop quiz. Adam laughed. A man after my father's heart. He's an accountant. He'd love you. There was a faint sigh at the end of his sentence, soft, almost imperceptible. But Noah caught it. They drifted into a comfortable silence, each returning to their work. Every now and then, though, Noah's eyes wandered to Adam's sketchbook. Adam was adding delicate details to a drawing of the library staircase, capturing the dance of shadow and light with a precision that seemed almost magical. 20 minutes later, Noah groaned in frustration, dragging his hands through his hair. I don't get it. None of this makes sense. Adam looked up, pencil still in hand. What's the topic? Electron transport chains, Noah muttered. It's like reading another alphabet. Read it to me, Adam said simply. Noah stared. Why? Adam shrugged. Sometimes saying it out loud helps. And hey, I definitely won't understand it, so you'll have to explain it like I'm 5. Teaching's the best way to learn, right? It was a ridiculous idea, but Noah was desperate. So he started reading. The paragraph was dense and full of jargon. As predicted, Adam's face twisted in comic confusion. Okay, stop, Adam said, holding up a hand. So these little electrons, they're like tiny overcaffeinated messengers running a relay race through a membrane? Noah blinked, then laughed. Actually, yeah. That's a surprisingly good analogy, Adam grinned. See, art history major. We're good with metaphors. Keep going, and so Noah did. He explained the process using Adam's silly relay race metaphor. For the first time all night, the concept began to click into place. Adam listened intently, asking absurd but strangely useful questions that forced Noah to think differently. By the time the library's closing announcement echoed through the halls, 2 hours had vanished. I actually understood some of that, Noah said, packing his notes with a new sense of confidence. Told you, Adam replied, carefully gathering his postcards. Maybe we should make this a regular thing. You teach me science, and I'll show you why Caravaggio was the ultimate bad boy of the art world. Noah felt a quiet flutter in his chest, something warm and new. Far more pleasant than the usual dread of exams. I'd like that, he said, hoping he didn't sound too eager. Same time tomorrow? Adam asked, slinging his bag over his shoulder. His hazel eyes caught the light, soft and uncertain. It's a date. Then, realizing what he'd said, Adam flushed pink. A study session. Noah smiled, the warmth spreading. Yeah. See you tomorrow, Adam. As he walked back to his dorm through the cool night air, Noah realized he wasn't thinking about biology anymore. He was thinking about kind smiles, easy laughter, and the quiet promise of something beginning. True to his word, Noah found himself in the basement lounge the next night. Part of him wondered if Adam would actually show. Maybe that date had just been a polite joke. But as he turned the corner, there was Adam, already there, seated at a small table, 2 steaming cups of hot chocolate in front of him. Figured we could upgrade from the floor, Adam said, sliding 1 cup toward Noah. And caffeine only does so much. Sugar's better fuel for all-nighters. Thanks, Noah said, touched. He took a sip. It was perfectly sweet and warm. You didn't have to do this. I know, Adam shrugged. But my mom always says you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Or in this case, you make more study buddies with hot chocolate than with nothing, Noah chuckled. So that's what we are? Study buddies? The official term is academic compatriots fighting the tyrannical reign of midterms, Adam said with a grin. But yeah, study buddies works. He opened his sketchbook and gestured grandly. All right, Dr. Noah, hit me with some more science. My brain is ready to be confused. And just like that, their rhythm began. They studied in 45-minute bursts, followed by 5-minute breaks where Adam would share something from his art history book or one of his own sketches. In return, Noah would explain scientific concepts using the most ridiculous analogies he could dream up. Noah learned that Adam saw the world in lines, light, and stories. He didn't just look at buildings, he read them. Every crack in the stone, every stain on the glass, every fading mural told a story about time and people and meaning. And somewhere in the middle of those stories, Noah realized Adam was quietly teaching him how to see too. Adam saw the world differently. He noticed the architect's intention, the history written in the bricks, the way sunlight spilled through the stained glass windows. It was a perspective Noah found endlessly fascinating. A world not made of formulas and answers, but of meanings and stories. Noah had always seen life as a list of tasks to complete, problems to solve, boxes to tick. But Adam's way of seeing things, slow, observant, alive, was beginning to change that. During one of their breaks, Adam pulled out a print of Jacques-Louis David's The Oath of the Horatii. He spoke with a passion that Noah hadn't heard before. It's all about duty and sacrifice for the state, Adam said, eyes alive as he traced the lines of the painting. The father represents the state, the ultimate authority. The sons obey, no matter the personal cost. Noah studied the print. The stern father, the loyal sons, the heavy tension in their poses. Something inside him tightened. My dad's a cardiologist, Noah said quietly, the words slipping out before he could stop them. My mom's a pediatrician. In my family, medicine is the state. It's not really a question of if, just when. Adam was silent for a moment, his gaze softening as he looked at Noah. And what do you want? The question hit like a thunderclap, simple but piercing. No one had ever asked him that before. His parents, grandparents, every relative in between, they all just assumed. They celebrated his science grades, ignored the A he'd earned in literature, and talked about which medical school would suit him best. I don't know, Noah admitted, his voice low but steady. I've never really thought about it. It's just the path, Adam nodded slowly. The lightheartedness in his expression gave way to quiet understanding. I get that. My family's path is business. My dad and brothers are all in finance. Art history is the phrase that causes a full minute of silence at dinner. He gave a small laugh that didn't quite reach his eyes. They think it's a hobby, not a career. They keep asking about my backup plan. What is your backup plan? Noah asked. I don't have one, Adam said, a determined spark in his gaze. This is it. I'll be a curator or a restorer or something. I have to believe in it. Otherwise, he trailed off, but Noah understood the rest. Otherwise, he'd end up like me, Noah thought, following a map drawn by someone else. It was the first truly vulnerable thing they'd shared. It wasn't about grades anymore. It was about expectations, families, and the quiet fear of disappointing the people who loved them most. I think what you do is amazing, Noah said softly. You see things differently. You make me see things differently. That's not a hobby, that's a gift. Adam looked up, startled. Then a slow, genuine smile spread across his face. It wasn't his usual quick grin, it was softer, truer, and it made Noah's heart skip. Thanks, Noah, he said quietly. That means a lot, coming from a future doctor and all. When the library's closing announcement echoed overhead, they began packing their things, but the silence between them had changed. It wasn't awkward. It was charged with understanding, with something unspoken and new. As they walked out side by side, their shoulders brushed in the narrow hallway. The contact was brief, but it sent a ripple through Noah. He found himself speaking before he could second-guess it. Hey, are you free Saturday afternoon? There's a new exhibit at the campus museum, Medical Illustrations Through History. Kind of the intersection of our two worlds. Adam's face lit up instantly. You had me at Medical Illustrations. That actually sounds really cool. Yeah, I'd love to. It wasn't a study session this time. It was unmistakably a date. And for the first time, Noah was excited about a path that felt entirely his own. Saturday arrived, carrying with it a nervous energy unlike any exam day. Noah stood in front of his closet, staring at his wardrobe of hoodies and jeans. After several minutes of silent debate, he chose a dark green sweater his mom had given him last Christmas, the one she said brought out the flecks of green in his eyes. He told himself he wasn't trying to impress anyone. He just wanted to look presentable for the museum. When he arrived, Adam was already waiting on the steps, wearing a corduroy jacket over a faded band tee. Effortlessly cool as always. He waved, his smile easy and warm. You made it, Adam said. Ready to see some beautifully drawn intestines? Noah laughed, the tension in his chest easing. I think I've seen enough of those in textbooks, but I'll try to see them through your eyes. The exhibit surprised him. Intricate drawings from centuries past revealed the human body as something almost sacred, rendered with both scientific precision and artistic awe. Adam leaned close to the glass, pointing out cross-hatching techniques, the play of light in a muscle fiber, the near-reverent care of a sketched human heart. Look at this, Adam whispered, gesturing toward a 16th century drawing of a brain. They didn't even know what it did yet, but look how reverent the lines are. The artist was in awe of the mystery. Noah followed his gaze. He'd always seen anatomy as data, diagrams, and labels, but through Adam's words, he began to see the humanity behind each stroke, the wonder of people trying to understand themselves. It was the same quiet magic Adam had shown him in the library, turning what was ordinary into something meaningful. After the exhibit, they wandered into a nearby gallery filled with abstract sculptures of metal and stone. The space was empty except for them. The silence hummed, soft and electric. So, Adam said, leaning against the railing, the pressure of the Noah family medical dynasty, does it ever let up? Noah sighed, joining him. Not really. Every call home is a checklist. How's organic chemistry? Have you started MCAT prep? Your cousin just got into Johns Hopkins. It's like this constant hum of expectation in the background. Do you ever tell them it's not what you want? I don't even know if it's not what I want, Noah said, frustrated. That's the worst part. I like biology. I like helping people. I think I could be a good doctor. But is it my passion? I don't know. I've never been allowed to explore anything else. Adam nodded slowly. The beautiful sun. I know that role well. I just play it less successfully. He kicked lightly at the floor. My dad sat me down last week. Said he could get me an internship at his firm this summer. Get some real-world experience, he said. Adam made air quotes, his voice dripping with sarcasm. As if art isn't part of the real world. What did you tell him? Noah asked softly. I said I already had a summer program lined up. Conservation work with one of my professors. He just sighed and said, "We'll talk about it," which is code for "I'm disappointed and we'll keep talking until you give in." "I'm sorry," Noah said quietly. He felt an ache to protect Adam, to shield his passion from being crushed by expectations. "That's not fair." "It is what it is," Adam said, shrugging, but the gesture didn't reach his eyes. He turned toward Noah. "What would you do if there was no one to disappoint?" The question hung in the quiet air between them. Noah looked at Adam, his kind, expressive eyes, the faint freckles across his nose, the way he bit his lip when he was waiting for an answer. And suddenly, the answer felt incredibly simple. "Right now," Noah whispered, "I think I'd be right here." Adam's eyes widened slightly. A faint blush crept up his neck, but he didn't look away. The moment stretched, fragile, electric, and immense. Noah's heart pounded. He'd never been this honest with anyone, let alone another guy. The risk of misreading the moment, of losing this friendship, was terrifying. But then Adam smiled, small and hopeful. "Me too. They didn't speak after that." They just stood there, surrounded by art, the unspoken truth finally taking shape, terrifying and exhilarating all at once. Finally, Adam broke the silence. "Library tomorrow? We've got that art history quiz Monday. I should probably study instead of just sketching the statues." "Yeah," Noah said softly. "Of course." As they left the museum, the sunset painted the sky in orange and violet. Noah's hand brushed Adam's, and this time, it wasn't an accident. Adam didn't pull away. Instead, he linked his pinky with Noah's, tentative but sure, a small secret promise held for just a few steps before they let go. It was enough. It was more than enough. The dynamic had shifted. The following week's study sessions hummed with a quiet electricity. Glances lingered a little longer. Compliments. "That was a really smart way to explain that," or "I love how your mind works when you talk about art," carried more weight than before. Noah found himself living for those late nights. The library basement had become their sanctuary, a world apart from pre-med expectations and business school debates. Here, they could just be Noah and Adam, but the outside world always waited. One evening, Noah was on the phone with his mother. The pressure was suffocating. "Your father says you really need a 4.0 this semester, sweetie. Every point counts. Are you sure all those library sessions are the best use of your time? Wouldn't you focus better studying alone?" Noah's grip tightened around the phone. "I'm actually learning a lot, Mom. Teaching someone else helps me understand the material better." It was true, but also not. He wasn't just teaching. He was feeling. Things that had nothing to do with glycolysis. "Well, as long as it's productive," she said, doubtful. "Just remember the goal, Noah. Distractions are a luxury you can't afford." When the call ended, her word echoed in his mind. Distraction. Was that what Adam was? A beautiful, wonderful distraction from his carefully planned life? The thought filled him with guilt. Because he liked Adam, more than liked him. But what was the endgame? How did an art history major fit into the Noah family blueprint? The fear of their disappointment sat cold in his stomach. He saw that same tension reflected in Adam a few days later. Adam was unusually quiet, staring blankly at his textbook. "Everything okay?" Noah asked. Adam sighed and shut the book with a soft thud. "Just got off the phone with my brother." 20 minutes of him explaining the practical benefits of an MBA. He doesn't even know what I study. He just knows it's not business. Sometimes I feel like I'm screaming into a void. Like they don't even see me. They see who they want me to be. "I see you," Noah said. The words came out sharper, more urgent than he meant. Adam looked up. "Do you?" His voice was gentle, but his eyes searched Noah's face. "Do you see a future with this, with me? Or am I just a break from your real life?" Noah wanted to say yes. To reach across the table, take his hand, and promise that he saw everything. Adam's brilliance, his heart, his fire. But fear, that familiar, paralyzing fear, clamped his mouth shut. He only nodded, saying nothing. The distance between them grew by an inch, but it felt like a mile. The next night, the tension finally snapped. They were studying for exams, and Noah was stressed, raw and restless. "No, Adam, it's mitochondria," Noah snapped. You have to say mitochondria. Adam flinched. Sorry, I can't get the terminology perfect. Not all of us are walking textbooks. I just need to get this right, Noah muttered. My entire future depends on these grades. The moment the words left his mouth, he regretted them. Adam's face fell, the light gone from his eyes. Right, he said quietly, packing his things. Your future. The important one. The one that actually matters. Adam, that's not what I meant. It's exactly what you meant, Adam said, not meeting his eyes. You're just like them. You think this, he gestured between them, is a cute little distraction, a study break. But my future, my passion, it's just a hobby to you. That's not true, Noah insisted. You know it's not, do I? Adam finally looked at him. The hurt in his eyes was devastating. Because when things get real, when the pressure's on, you always go back to what's expected of you. And what's expected of you isn't me, he shouldered his bag. Good luck on your practical, Noah. I'm sure you'll ace it. Then he walked away, leaving Noah alone in the silent, suffocating basement. Noah wanted to run after him, to explain, to beg for another chance. But fear held him still. Fear of what it would mean to choose Adam, to fall away from everything safe and known. He sat there for a long time, surrounded by the ghosts of their laughter and shared confessions, feeling more alone than ever. He had gotten what he thought he wanted, silence to study. But it felt like punishment. The next 2 days were agony. Noah went through the motions of his classes, studying alone in a silent corner on the library's top floor. The stillness was deafening. He missed Adam's laugh, his ridiculous analogies that somehow made even cell biology sound poetic. He aced his biology practical. He should have felt proud, but instead the grade meant nothing. The victory felt hollow without Adam there to share it, without his warm grin or a steaming cup of hot chocolate waiting afterward. The A+ was just a number. He realized, with a painful clarity, that his fear had never been only about disappointing his parents. It was deeper, about disappointing himself. He was afraid of wanting something they hadn't chosen for him. Afraid that wanting Adam meant acknowledging. He desired a life different from the one already mapped out. It was easier to follow a path already paved than to carve one of his own, but staring at that perfect score, he heard Adam's voice in his head. What would you do if there was no one to disappoint? The answer came instantly. I'd be with him. He had to fix this. He had to be brave. A classmate mentioned that Adam's big art history essay was due that afternoon. Noah didn't hesitate. He waited outside the department office, his heart pounding so hard he thought it might give him away. When Adam finally emerged, he looked tired, shoulders slumped, expression unreadable. He didn't smile when he saw Noah. He just stopped, waiting. Hi, Noah said, his voice trembling. Hi, Adam replied flatly. I'm so sorry, Noah began, the words spilling out. What I said that night, it was horrible and I didn't mean any of it. I was stressed and scared and I took it out on you. There's nothing joking about what you do. You're the most passionate, talented person I've ever met. You see the world differently, and you've made me see it differently too. Better. Adam listened quietly, his face unreadable. Noah took a deep breath and went deeper. My parents, their expectations, they've always been this weight I carry. But you're not a distraction from my future, Adam. I think... He hesitated, voice breaking. I think you might be part of it. If you'll still have me. The second stretched into eternity. Then finally, Adam's expression softened. I turned in my essay today, he said after a pause. It was on Caravaggio. Noah blinked, confused. Okay? Adam stepped closer. He was a revolutionary. He took these idealized religious scenes and painted them with dirt and shadows, with real people. He made holiness human. Everyone told him how art should be, but he had the courage to paint what he felt instead. Another step closer. It's scary to do your own thing, Noah. I'm scared every day, but I'd rather be scared with you than safe without you. The relief that crashed over Noah nearly knocked the air from his lungs. So, you forgive me? He asked carefully. I'm still a little mad, Adam said, but a small, reluctant smile tugged at his lips. But I'll accept your apology, on one condition. Anything. Stop letting other people write your story. Adam reached out, gently poking Noah's chest, right over his heart. The author's in there, and I have a feeling he's got some pretty great ideas. Noah let out a shaky breath and caught Adam's finger, holding it between his hands. Well, his first idea is to ask you out on a proper date. No textbooks. No libraries. Just dinner. And us. Adam's smile bloomed bright and genuine. I thought you'd never ask. They stood there for a moment, hands linked on the steps of the arts building. The world hadn't changed. Noah's parents still had expectations. Adam's family still didn't understand. The challenges hadn't vanished, but for the first time, they weren't facing them alone. The weight on Noah's shoulders was still there, just lighter. Shared, and that made all the difference. Their first official date was at a small family-owned Italian restaurant downtown, far from campus, and far from the constant buzz of exams and expectations. The conversation flowed easily without the anchor of textbooks. They talked about their favorite movies, embarrassing childhood stories, the small dreams that had nothing to do with their majors. Noah confessed that he secretly loved to bake, something his mother dismissed as unproductive. Adam smiled. Then I'll be your taste tester. He admitted that his dream was to one day stand beneath the Sistine Chapel ceiling and see Michelangelo's brushstrokes up close. We should go, Noah said impulsively. Twirling pasta on his fork, Adam blinked. Go where, Italy? After we graduate, you'll see your frescoes and I'll eat my body weight in gelato. It's a win-win, Adam laughed, that beautiful free laugh Noah had missed so much. It's a date, he said softly. A future date. As they walked back to campus under a sky scattered with stars, their fingers found each other naturally. It felt right. It felt real. The rest of the semester unfolded in a new rhythm. Their study sessions continued, but now they were punctuated by coffee dates, walks through the park, and movie nights in Noah's dorm. They learned each other's worlds by heart. Noah could identify a Renaissance painting from across the room, and Adam could explain the basics of cellular respiration to anyone who asked. The struggles didn't vanish. Noah still felt his stomach twist before every phone call home, and Adam still went quiet after talking to his dad. But now they could share it, vent, laugh, remind each other they were on their path, not anyone else's. One evening, they returned to their old spot in the library basement. Finals were over. The air that once felt heavy with tension now hummed with quiet peace and the promise of summer. Adam sat sketching while Noah watched. Content just to see him, the careful concentration, the gentle furrow of his brow, the soft movement of his hand. What are you drawing? Noah asked. Adam turned the sketch pad around with a small, shy smile. It was Noah, but not the version buried in stress or textbooks. He was laughing, head tilted back, eyes crinkled with joy. It's how you looked when you tried my mom's triple chocolate brownies last week, Adam said. I wanted to remember it. Noah felt his throat tighten. He took the sketch pad in awe. It's beautiful. You're beautiful, Adam shrugged lightly. It's easy to draw when the subject inspires you. Noah set the sketch aside and took both of Adam's hands. I have to go home for the summer in a few days, he said quietly, the truth they'd both been avoiding. I know, Adam said. And I'll be here, restoring dusty old paintings and missing you. I'm going to tell them, Noah said suddenly, the decision solidifying as the words left his mouth. Adam froze. Tell them? My parents. About you. Noah, you don't have to, Adam said quickly. Not if you're not ready. I don't want you to— I am ready, Noah interrupted, squeezing his hands. Because this is real. You are real, and I'm done hiding something that means this much. I don't know how they'll react. Yeah, I'm scared. But I'm more scared of pretending you don't exist. He took a breath. I love you, Adam, and that's a part of me now. They need to know me. All of me. Tears welled in Adam's eyes. He leaned forward, resting his forehead against Noah's. I love you too, he whispered. And no matter what happens, I'm here. We're in this together. They stayed like that for a long time. Two boys in their quiet corner of the world, surrounded by the echoes of their laughter and late-night study sessions. They had started as classmates, become confidants, and somehow, without realizing when, become something more. The future was still uncertain. There would be hard conversations and difficult days ahead. But as they held on to each other, they knew one thing for sure. Their love wasn't a distraction from their dreams. It was the reason they finally had the courage to chase them. Their study sessions had ended. But their story had just begun, and it was a story they would write together, one brave, heartwarming chapter at a time.